Welcome back, my dear students. So here we are going to analyze the very important textual activities of the poem. Read and respond questions and answers. I have a thought of all by turns. What are the things that the poet thinks of? Answer. The things that the poet thinks of are a flock of sheep leisurely passing by. First one. Leisurely passing by one after one. The second one is the sound of rain and bees murmuring, the fall of rivers, winds and seas, smooth fields, white sheets of water and pure sky. So this is very important one. I have a thought of all by turns. What are the things that the poet thinks of? So remember, കവി ചിന്തിക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ്? The things that the poet thinks of are a flock of sheep leisurely passing by one after one. The sound of rain, the bees murmuring, the fall of rivers, winds and seas, smooth fields, white sheets of water and pure sky. So these are the things the poet thinks of. Question number 2. Why couldn't the poet sleep for 3 nights? So in the poem, the poet says that he couldn't sleep for 3 nights. He couldn't sleep for 3 nights. That is why in the poem To Sleep, the poet William Wordsworth is talking. Why couldn't the poet sleep for 3 nights? The poet couldn't sleep for 3 nights because sleep was running away from him. Sleep was running away from him. Let us see question number 3. Do you think that sleep embraced the poet in the end? Why? Embraced the poet. Finally, did the sleep come to the poet? Why? Yes, I think that sleep embraced, completely covered the poet in the end because he entreated. Entreated means requested her. Her means sleep. Not to run away. Don't go away from the poet. And praised her and praised them, said good words about sleep with some fine words. Question number 4. How many of you can identify with the Wordsworth experience of lying awake until the birds twitter their dawn chorus? That is a very important one. Please try to understand what is the question. Wordsworth's experience of lying awake without sleep, lying until till the time the birds twitter their dawn chorus. You see, so dawn is early morning. So we will get the signal or the, what do we call it, as a sign of morning with the twittering of the birds. So cocks crow sound. Okay, birds twitter their dawn chorus. You see, when the morning is arriving, the birds will give a warning sound by their twittering sound. Okay, let us see what is the answer. Many of us can identify with the Wordsworth experience of being sleepless. So, without having a sleep, the whole night lying without sleeping, as they are stressed out by the pressures of life. You see, why couldn't the poet sleep? Because they are stressed out. The whole nights are completely tensed by the pressures, by the challenges, by the problems of life, and so they cannot fall asleep. The night cannot give sleep to the poet until the birds twitter their dawn chorus, morning warning sound. That is all. Question number 5. How do you think the poet feels at the start of the poem? Why do you think the poet feeling at the start, at the beginning of the poem? At the start of the poem, the poet feels is a bit desperate, unsatisfied, unhappy, and longs means wishes for sleep. That is all. Then question number 6, pick out the images from the poem. Let us see images, word pictures. Images here means word pictures from the poem. The images from the poem are, let us see what are. A flock of sheep that leisurely one by one, pass by one after one. That picture will be seen in our mind. A group of sheep, a flock of. The falling rain, we will see that when we read those words, the picture of the falling rain in our mind. Bees murmuring, the fall of rivers, white sheets of water and pure sky, smooth fields, twittering birds in the orchard, and a mother bringing sweet things to her child. All these are the images in the poem. Question number 7. Which lines or images do you think are the most effective in conveying the necessity of sound sleep? Sound sleep means without any disturbance, 100% perfect sleep. That is called a sound sleep. The last 3 lines of the poem to sleep are the most effective in conveying, in communicating. Conveying means communicating the necessity of a sound sleep. So we all should have a sound sleep, then only we will be healthy. Only if he sleeps the morning's wealth. So only if he sleeps, the morning's wealth will have any meaning for him. Only a person with a sound sleep can enjoy the beauty of the morning. Sleep is the blessed barrier. You see, sleep is the blessed barrier, boundary between night. And she is the mother. Actually, sleep is the mother who brings fresh thoughts. We can think very efficiently and accurately, and we can enjoy joyous health only with a good sleep or sound sleep. Question number 8. The poem ends in a note of wistful hope and prayer. Do you agree why the ending of the poem? With a hope and a prayer. Yes, I agree that the poem ends in a note of wistful hope and prayer. The poet is requesting sleep to come to him. She has been running away for 3 nights without coming to the poet. So she here means the sleep. In succession, complete, continuously. He hopes She will listen to his entreaty request. Entreaty means request, and come to him this night. And the poet hopes that sleep will come to him that night. Question number 9. Comment on the length of the poem and the poetic form. Very important one. This is about the technique of writing a poem. Remember that? The poem is a sonnet. Okay. So the poem is a sonnet. So you must try to understand what is sonnet. A sonnet is a poem of 14 lines with a strict compulsory pattern model is there of rhyme and rhythm. So sonnet is a poem of 14 lines with a strict pattern of rhyme and rhythm. There are different forms of sonnets, but they share some common things which include. Let us see, even if sonnets are of different types, they share some common things are there. Let us see what are those common things included in a sonnets. A key idea. There will be a main idea. It's a proper development. This idea is a proper development and a conclusion with a twist. A conclusion and with a twist. A sonnet is divided into two parts when you look into the poem to sleep equal. The first 8 lines are called an octave. Octave means it is 8. From octave itself, 8 is. The first 8 lines are called an octave, and the last 6 lines, three lines, last 6 lines are called sestet. 6 sestet. From that itself is also 6 is there. Sestet. 8 lines, octave, 6 lines are sestet. The poetry has used several images in the poem which include a flock of sheep that leisurely pass by one after one, the falling rain, bees murmuring, the fall of rivers, white sheets of water, pure sky, smooth fields, twittering birds in the orchard, and a mother bringing sweet things to her child. The rhyming scheme in this sonnet is A B B A, A B B A, EDC, CDC. Okay, so with the textbook, you try to write down this answer and check it here. Question number 10. The poet uses several images in the poem. Let us see, images means word pictures like the sound of rain and the sight of the fields. Identify the images used by the poet in the poem to sleep. A flock of sheep passing by one after one, bees murmuring, white sheets of water, pure sky, birds singing from the orchard trees, cuckoo's melancholy cry. So these are the images or word pictures we can see, auditory as well as visual. Okay. Study the various poetic devices given on page 147 of the textbook. Various poetic devices. Various poetic devices that you have to go. Now, activity 2, critical appreciation. Based on the above discussions, prepare a critical appreciation of the poem, bearing the tips given on page 147 and 148 of the textbook. Based on that one, you must prepare a wonderful critical appreciation, which is very important for your examination. The poem To Sleep by William Wordsworth, who is known as the highest priest of nature. He is a worshipper of nature. He is an exquisite poem that represents to us some of the finest sights, sounds, and movements of nature. We can see a flock of sheep leisurely passing by one after one. We can hear and see the sound of rain and the murmuring of bees. We can hear the fall of rivers, winds, and seas. We can see the smooth fields, white sheets of water, and pure sky. We also hear the melodies of small birds coming from the orchard trees. We hear the cuckoo's melancholy cry. The poet can't sleep. Maybe he is worried about the bad things that happened during the past. In fact, he has not slept for a couple of days. And this makes him all the more worried. He was disappointed, not satisfactory. If he does not sleep, he won't be able to enjoy the wonderful sights and sounds of the morning. If we wanted to enjoy the wealth of beauty of morning, we should have a sound sleep. Sleep brings fresh thoughts and joyous health. To sleep is a sonnet. In the octave means first 8 lines. The poet describes the alluring, very enticing, very attracting sights and sounds of nature, alluring sights and sounds of nature. In the sestet last 6 lines, he describes his condition without sleep. And a request is having a request to sleep. Sleep, not to run away from him. He also talks about the blessings sleep brings. So if you sleep sound, you will have many healthy and intellectual benefits, blessings. The rhyming scheme in the octave is A, B, B, A, A, B, B, A. And in the sestet, last 6 lines, it is C, D, C, C, D, C. Okay. The poet has used personification effectively. You see, another poetic device. Personification. So, lifeless thing is given lifeful qualities. That technique is called personification. Sleep is pictured as a mistress. Sleep we cannot see. We can only experience, we cannot touch, we cannot speak to. But sleep is pictured as a mistress who is refusing to come to the poet, who does not like to come to the poet. There is the rhetorical question. You see, very rhetorical, means poetically framed question. Without thee, without you, that means without sleep, what is all the morning's wealth? What is the meaning of all the morning's wealth, the beauty of the, I cannot, without sleep, I cannot enjoy the morning's beauty, that is the wealth. So there is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia means the sound is related with the name of the creature. For example, hissing of the snakes and bees murmuring sound. And there is a fine alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same vowels, not vowel sounds, consonant sounds. We know vowel sounds are A, E, I, O, U. All other sounds in English languages are consonant sounds. So there is a fine alliteration, blessed barrier between b, b, b. B is a consonant sound which is repeated. This technique is called alliteration. There is a hyperbole in calling sleep as the dear mother of fresh thoughts and joyous health. So hyperbole is yet another poetic device used by the poet for exaggerating the things. Exaggerating. So here, sleep as a dear mother of fresh thoughts and joyous health. That is an example of a hyperbole. On the whole, To Sleep is an enjoyable poem with a fine message for all of us. A fine message for all of us. So, this is a critical appreciation. Wordsworth's To Sleep tells us how important it is to have a sound sleep in order to remain mentally and physically fit, healthy. In this world where everything is instant, so we are living in 21st century, everything is instant Onam, Satya or feast, everything instant coffee, instant food, or instantly done. Isn't it important to avoid unhealthy habits? So discuss that one. Let us see. It is a general question based on this one. In our modern world, everything has become instant. What is instant? Immediate, very fast, instant, fast food. We get instant coffee and tea, instant meals from the fast food outlets, instant cures by quacks, doctors, and even instant sleep through sleeping pills. Those who cannot sleep very well, they are taking sleeping pills and getting slept very fast. People are in a hurry. People are living in a very hurry world and they want everything instant, very fast. In the ready-made stores, you can get almost everything instant. Instant payasam, instant food. If things go like this, the day is not far off when we can also get instant babies also. Very immediately creating, giving birth to babies. This desire for everything instant is symptomatic of a disease. So finally we will meet with the deadly diseases that has gripped the modern society. People have lost the virtue of patience. People does not have a patience. No waiting. We want everything to be done immediately. No patience. Nobody is willing to wait for anything. Waiting is not good for the modern people. This lack of patience makes us sick as it increases our blood pressure. We forget that haste makes waste. That is a wonderful quotation. Haste makes waste. By consuming all the instant foods and clicks, we are spoiling our health. The same thing happens when we resort to instant cures also. There are instances, examples where people wanted instant sleep also, very fast sleeping and getting up. They swallowed many pills, tablets, and they never got up from their sleep. They are under the hallucinations or the effect of those pills. So we came to the end of the poem. Anyway, your exam is approaching fast. So please try to face with the confidence your examination and be ready for the other notes from focus and non-focus areas. Try to be in touch with and wish you all the best. Thank you.